Okay. Hi, guys. I am Brooke Blankenship. Welcome to Wednesday evening yoga. And I have been learning a lot about Ayurvedic practices. So I don't know how many of you guys are familiar with Ayurveda, but I thought I would just share with you something interesting from my course. And if you're interested, we can talk more about it after class. Um, so just come to a comfortable seated for a second. And I just want to tell you about, if you don't know, that Ayurveda um, basically takes our constitutions and breaks it down into three different constitutions. So it's the Vata, the Pitta, and the kapha, and they all have different properties. And so one of the things that we had to do for our studies was to evaluate ourselves, to take a guidelines for determining your constitution. And I just wanted to read you a couple of the different what the differences they say are in this particular one, which I thought were really kind of interesting. So maybe you know what you are, maybe you don't, maybe you're interested to find out more, and I'm happy to share this little quiz with you. But for Avata, and it says you should fill it out twice. So you should fill it out based on like what you've been feeling your entire life, and then fill it out again based on what you've been feeling lately, and that you might have, you might end up with different doshas. Okay, so for Vata, your skin may be rough and dark. For Pitta, it may be warm and rosy. And for Kapha, it may be white and pale. Your thirst for Vata is changeable. Thirst for Pitta is in surplus. Thirst for Kapha is sparse. Physical activity. Vatas are hyperactive. Pittas are moderate. And Kaphas are slow. And the last one that I highlighted, which I thought was kind of interesting, emotions. So Vata tend to have emotions of anxiety, fear, and uncertainty. Pitta tend to be angry, sometimes hateful and jealous. And the Kapha tend to be calm, but might have greedy, be greedy or have attachments. So anyways, I took the quiz, and you can guess which one I was, but I thought this was really interesting. And the Ayurveda, I actually bought a book on it because I want to explore more about it, and I'm just barely into it at this point, but Ayurveda and yoga are very similar sciences. So to say that we were feeding our bodies through an Ayurvedic diet, and then also practicing yoga and the pranayama, breathing exercises, and everything, all of the eight limbs combined, that we would be in perfect balance. Imagine that. Okay, so without further ado, let's get started stretching our bodies and just kind of putting some of those characteristics that I told you about for thought, food for thought, into your head about what you might be, what your constitution might be made up of. And there are certain foods and things that you can take in things to help balance the doshas, especially if you're a Pitta or, okay, I said too much. All right, so let's let's go and sit on our mats, crisscross yogi sauce, and just sitting up nice and tall. Starting to come into our space. Gently closing down the eyes if you haven't already. Just coming into your space. Setting your intention for practice today to give your body exactly what it needs. Whatever that may be. And know that even if you don't know what that may be, that hopefully at the end of this practice, your body is going to feel great and you will have gotten what you need. Opening up the eyes. We're going to do what's called alternate nostril breathing. So this is a pranayama, a breathing exercise that helps to stimulate the mind and the body. So warming up our lungs and helping us to warm the body before practice. So you're going to take your finger, like your got a Shooter McGavin's here, okay? And you are going to plug the right nostril as you breathe through the left nostril. In for 3. Hold it for a second. And then moving the fingertip to the opposite nostril and breathing out through the right. Back the other way. In for 3. Opposite. Out for 3. Blow it back out. Again, in for 3. Hold it at the top and then blow it back out the other side. Again, in for 3. Hold it at the top, blow it back out the other side. Drop the hand, shake it out. Return the breath back to normal and then just close down the eyes and check in with yourself. See how you feel. Gently fluttering those eyes open again. This time, taking the hands behind you, like you've got cupcakes underneath your hand. So on your fingertips, stretching the elbows behind you, like you're going to touch the elbows together. And then maybe if you're comfortable, letting the head come up towards the ceiling, maybe even drop back a little bit, stretching through the front of the body, the collarbone and the neck. Feeling the collarbone and the front of the body expand with each breath in and out. And then walking back up through neutral, crossing the swap of the legs, walking the hands forward over your folded legs, maybe coming down onto your elbows. See what feels comfortable here. And then allowing the head to be heavy, melting into the floor. Walking the hands back up. Bringing the knees together and then bringing them behind you. We're going to come into tabletop position. So setting up your tabletop, ensuring that your wrists, elbows, and shoulders are in one straight line. Knees and hips are in the same straight line. Feet are out behind you. If it's more comfortable or stable for you, you can tuck the toes under, okay? But starting in our tabletop position, we're going to start by warming up the core by bringing the left foot back behind you, straightening it back. I'm almost touching the window. Bringing the left foot back behind you, pointing the toes down towards the floor. Now check in with your hips. Make sure that your left hip and your right hip are almost in the same line, they're in the same line, okay? That left hip wants to jut back. So pulling it forward and then really feeling the glute turning on and firing up. Pulling that belly button in towards the spine. Dropping the left, right foot comes back up behind you. Straighten the leg, flex the toes down, and then work on bringing that right hip forward so it is in line with the left. Automatically, when you do that, you're going to feel your spine straighten out, your low back straighten out. And I feel that movement, that work go into my glute too. It's still in my leg, but also more in my glute. I'm forced to pull my abdominals in for support. Dropping it back down. This time we're going to add the arm movement with it too. So bringing that left foot up, pull the hip back in towards the socket, and then arm comes up, right arm comes up. We're balancing now. Pulling that belly button in. Beautiful job, ladies. Lower back down. Right leg comes up behind you. Pull that hip up. Left arm comes out. Pulling that belly button in towards the spine. Growing stronger in our core with every breath. Lowering back down. Bring the knees out wide and come into an active child's pose. So what I mean by that is turn your arms on, okay? If it's more comfortable, you can put your knees right flat underneath you, but turn your arms on, put cupcakes underneath your hands, come up onto the fingertips. You can allow the head to come down, the forehead to come down to the mat, but keep the arms turned on. Keep pressing through the fingertips. Imagine the hips sinking a little bit lower with every breath. Any minute now, they're going to touch those heels. Walking the hands back up. We're going to thread the needle. So bringing the left hand up to start, threading it through. Resting the back of the hand on the floor, allowing the left fingertips to come up towards the top of the mat. Staying here and feeling that stretch through the right underarm as well with the right fingertips, or bringing those right fingertips behind you, hooking them behind towards the left hip. Feeling for opening that shoulder up towards the ceiling. Unwinding, coming back through center. Other side, all the way up, looking up at those right fingertips, threading through, setting that hand down, walking the left fingertips out. Staying here, stretching through that left armpit and the right shoulder. Or walking that, bringing that hand around for the opposite hip, opening up that shoulder to the sky, turning just a little bit more. Breathing into it. Unwinding. Coming back up through center. Bringing the knees together, tucking the heels under, and making your way into a downward facing dog. So taking a few moments here to straighten up your back, elongate your spine as much as you can, bend those knees, okay? Almost get your chest to come all the way to your thighs, and then stretch those heels down towards the floor. It's okay if they don't touch. In progress is also a great feeling in our body, and that's what we're looking for. Sending your breath into the back of the legs. Imagining that each breath is giving you a little bit more room to stretch and strengthen. And then walking the feet all the way to the hands. Hanging for a moment in our ragdoll, bending your knees as much as you need to, looking to get that chest to just hang over the thighs. Allowing the head to be heavy. Pressing through all corners of the feet, root to rise, all the way up to standing. Gathering the hands at the heart. Excellent. We're going to do some sun salutations, some salutes to the sun. So bringing the feet about hip width distance, standing strong in our mountain pose to begin with, looking down at the heels. Are the heels in line with the hip bones? Bringing the shoulders back together, bringing the shoulder blades together, looking slightly up at the ceiling, maybe at the corner. And then inhaling as we bring the arms up. Exhale, forward, forward fold. Halfway lift, flatten the back. Plant the hands, step back to plank pose. We're going easy on ourselves this first one. We're going to do knees, chest, chin. Cobra. Down dog. Take a big breath in. And let it go. Open the mouth. Step the feet to the hands. Halfway lift and fold. Rise all the way up. Hands to the heart. Okay, I'm going to watch you guys do it. I will instruct you through. I'm going to watch you on your mats. So here we go. Are you ready? Mountain pose. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, fold. Halfway lift, flatten the back. Plant the hands, step the feet back to plank pose. Your vinyasa, so knees, chest, chin, or high plank to low. Upward facing dog. Back to downward facing dog. Excellent. Step the feet to the hands. Root to rise all the way up. Gather the hands at the heart. Beautiful, ladies. Again, inhale the arms up. Exhale, fold. Halfway lift, flatten the back. And fold. Step it back through your vinyasa, high plank to low. Upward dog. Back to downward dog. Take a big breath in. Open the mouth and let it go. Again, big breath in. Open, let it go. Step the feet to the hands. Halfway lift. Fold. Rise all the way up. Hands to the heart. Chair pose. Big breath in. Fold. Halfway lift. Fold. Step it back. High plank to low. Or knees, chest, chin. Up dog. Back to down dog. Beautiful job, ladies. Three big breaths in here. Inhale and exhale through the mouth, or I'm sorry, through the nose and then out through the mouth. Let it go. Step, jump, or walk the feet all the way to the hands. Root to rise all the way up. Hands to the heart. How are we feeling? Good. Toasty? Toasty warm yet? Yes. Oh, Sarah's going away. I thought she was going to say something. Okay. All right, so I'm going to get back on my mat with you. You did an awesome job. That was so fun to watch you guys and to actually like not do it myself. So yay. All right. So we are going to go through a warrior series now with some warrior ones, and we'll also do some warrior twos too. But let's start in our mountain pose. So standing strong in our mountain pose, pushing all four corners of the foot into the ground, feeling really grounded. Inhaling the arms up, exhaling forward. Halfway lift, flatten the back, plant the hands, step it back to plank pose. High plank to low or knees, chest, chin. Upward facing dog or cobra, back to downward facing dog. Bring the right foot forward. Inhale up into warrior one. So check in with your feet here. We do want our feet, our hips more centered with the top of the mat. So if that means that you need to push your foot out, your back foot out for a little bit more leverage there, then by all means do it, okay? That's how you're supposed to feel the pose in your body, no matter what it looks like. So pushing the hips towards the front, we're stretching. I've got an angle on my back foot that allows me to move that left hip forward, okay? I've got a nice generous bend in the front knee, Okay, and I'm also putting the knee on top of the heel. The one great thing about Zoom is we can totally look at our own alignment in the little video box. Amazing. So bringing the arms up, elbows toward the ears, stretching through those fingers. Can you feel that energy flowing through the fingers? Up through the legs, through the torso, breathing through the pose, feeling the strength in our warrior one. And then lowering the hands back down and coming into a runner's lunge. So coming into a runner's lunge, again, our knee and our heel are lined up. I'm either down on my hands, maybe even on my fists, if my wrists are bothering me, or cupcake hands, okay? So stretching and feeling that perineum coming down towards the floor, the pelvis grounding, getting lower and lower to the earth with gravity. You can modify this also by lowering that knee down, still getting that same stretch. Now, lower your knee, whether you have it lowered or not. And I want you to flatten out this left hand. Bring the right hand up to the sky. Staying here or wrapping the hand again behind and opening that shoulder up again towards the sky. Unwinding, coming back through center, stepping the right foot back to meet the left through your vinyasa or straight back to downward facing dog. Giving yourself a moment to regulate your breath. Big breath in and out. Maybe gently closing the eyes. And then we're going to bring that left foot forward in between the hands, lowering the back foot, moving it out if you need to, and rising up into our warrior one. So again, I'm checking in with that front knee, making sure that the knee and the heel are in alignment. I'm checking in with my hips, pulling that right hip up to be centered with the left, even if that means I need to move my foot over and in, okay? So lifting those arms up towards the sky, feeling that energy flowing through the legs, up through the torso, and out through the fingertips. Feeling the power of this pose. Lowering the hands back down on either side of that left foot. We're going to come into the runner's lunge. So again, checking in with your knee and your foot, making sure that your knee is not surpassing that heel. Either leaving that back knee up or dropping it to the ground. Yogi's choice. But either way, we're going to work on bringing that pelvis toward the ground. Imagining that with each inhale, we're able to sink that pelvis just a little bit closer to the earth. Now we're going to bring that right hand down and forward just a little bit. Bringing the left hand up towards the sky for the twist. Leaving your hand here or tucking it behind, opening up that shoulder towards the sky. Lengthening through the front of the body, the chest and the collarbone. Unwinding. This time we're going to bring the left foot up to meet the, or I'm sorry, the right foot up to meet the left in our forward fold. Walking the toes out to the edges of the mat. And then we're going to find gorilla pose here. So gorilla pose, we're tucking the hands underneath of the feet. I like to bring my toes all the way up to my wrist. Bend your knees as much as you need to here, okay? I like to bring my toes all the way up to my wrists so I can wiggle my toes and give my wrists a little massage. And my palms. And then releasing the hands. Heel-toeing the feet all the way back together. Root to rise all the way up. Hands to the heart. Again, going back, standing in our mountain pose, starting off strong and tall. Inhaling the arms up. Exhale and fold. Halfway lift, flatten your back. Plant your hands, step or jump back to plank pose. Through your vinyasa, knees, chest, chin, or high plank to low. Upward facing dog. Back to downward. Big breath in. Let it go. Another big breath in. Let it go. One more time. Big breath in. On your exhale, bringing the right foot forward in between the hands and cartwheeling the arms up into warrior two. So checking in with your legs, your heel to knee alignment. Check in with the angle of your back foot. Are you able to press all corners of both feet into the ground? Really turn on and fire up those legs. And then bringing the arms up. Again, I like to flip my arms over just to relax my shoulders a little bit. And then stretch out, taking the gaze over the middle finger, out over the middle finger. Again, another warrior pose. Warrior are strengthening poses. They allow us to cultivate energy and power. Flipping your front palm, let's reverse our warrior. So bringing that arm up and over, turning the pinky down to externally rotate the arm, bringing a new dimension into that shoulder as well. Breathing into the sensations in the body. Coming back up into warrior two. Floating the arm down into side angle. Bringing that elbow all the way to the ear and feeling that long line of energy flow through the left side of the body. Y'all know this one's my favorite, so breathe into it, really feel it. And then cartwheeling the hands back down on either side of the foot through your vinyasa, or meeting us back in downward facing dog. Three big breaths in and out of your down dog. Bringing the focus back to the intention of the class, which was to give our bodies what we need. Stepping the left foot forward in between the hands and rising up into warrior two. Checking in with your feet, making any adjustments that you need to for your own body. Nice deep bend in the front leg. Pressing into all corners of the back foot. Flipping the front palm, floating back, turning that pinky down toward the face, externally rotating the arm, and turning on the shoulder and the armpit. Coming back into your warrior two. It's the last time we're here, being strong. Staying with your breath. And then floating the elbow down, bringing the elbow all the way to the ear. Side angle. Floating the hands down now on either side of the foot. Stepping the foot back through your vinyasa or straight back to downward facing dog. Bringing your feet through, crisscrossing. We're going to make our way to our backs now. Starting with reclined pigeon. Not reclined pigeon. Bridge pose. I want to do an inversion first. So bridge pose. So I'm going to bring my heels all the way in towards my bum. And then I'm going to take my hands. So today I want you to wriggle your arms underneath of your body once you lift your hips. And we're going to clasp our hands, bring them together, and really try to open up through the chest and the collarbones, okay? So bringing the hips up, pressing into the feet, okay? And almost bringing your toes a little bit pigeon-toed, and that way your knees don't try to splay out as well. So wriggling your arms underneath, bringing those shoulder blades closer together, maybe even pressing down into the back of the fists. going back down, walking the feet out to the edges of the mat and tenting the knees together in constructive rest. Allow the hands to just come to the water of the belly and the heart. Take a moment to give yourself thanks for showing up on your mat today. Walking the feet back together. We're going to come now into our reclined pigeon. So lifting that left foot up high, crossing it over the right knee, finding your grip behind that right foot, right leg, and then using your left elbow to maybe give a little nudge, a little bit more pressure on that left thigh and left hip. Allowing the eyes to close, just following the track of the breath as it comes in through the nose and out through the nose. Imagine the breath circulating all the way down into that left hip. Dropping down that left foot, right foot. Crossing the leg all the way over. This time I want you to grab for opposite feet or opposite ankles in cow-faced legs. So stretching through that left hip outside, all down the top of the IT band. Releasing the feet, other side. So right ankle comes over left knee, grabbing behind for a reclined pigeon first, taking that elbow and pressing it onto the knee, maybe opening up that left hip just a little bit more. Dropping the foot down, crossing the leg all the way over and finding those cow-faced legs on the opposite side, breathing into the right hip. So keeping a hold of your left foot with your right hand, and then just allowing that knee to come down to the ground, crossing the right knee over the body, coming into that twisty, supine, twisty back bend. Taking the gaze out over the right shoulder for the ultimate little twist all the way through the spine. Releasing Other side, so we're gonna bend that knee, grab the opposite foot. I'm so close to the wall here, I need to move myself out so I can twist. And then left knee comes up and twisting over. I got a good little pop there. Taking that gaze out over the left shoulder this time. Feeling that twist all the way through the center of the spine. Releasing the foot, untwisting. Coming back through center and set yourself up, excuse me, for your final resting pose. Allowing the legs to separate, the arms to separate from the body, the palms to face up with the fingers just naturally curling slightly. Your jaw slightly opened and released. Maybe your mouth is open too. However is most relaxing for you. Allow yourself to sink into your mat and feel really grounded here. Really heavy and supported. If your breath is heavy, having it find its way back to normal. Not trying to control it, just letting it be. Delight in yourself. Stop picking on yourself, worrying if you're good enough, wondering what people will see if you let them see your heart. This is what they will see, that you are a lovable and delightful soul, a beautiful child of God. Be yourself and accept yourself, warts, waistline, and all. You don't have to sit up that straight, be that proper, or fear what others may see. Let your imperfections show. Share them. Love yourself anyway. Relax and be who you are. When you do that, your life will be fun and a joyful gift to others. People who comfortably accept who they are, both their flaws and their good points, are healing, delightful, and fun to be around. Look at any work of nature, a canyon, a flower, a bird, a mountain, or a forest trail. Where does the perfection begin and imperfection end? It's the combination that makes a perfect scene. So it is with you. Relax, lighten up, let go of shame and fear. The whole picture is perfect and perfectly okay. Taking a big, slow breath in through your nose, filling all the way up, opening your mouth and letting something go. Two more times. Big breath in, slowly in through the nose. Open your mouth and let it out. Last time, in through the nose. Open and let it go. Wiggling your fingers and your toes. Slowly bringing movement back into your body. Maybe stretching the knees into the chest. Giving your lower back and sacrum a little love. Rolling around back there. Taking your time and coming back up to seated. Bringing our hands together with our thumb knuckles to our third eye. The light in me loves and honors the light in each and every one of you. Thank you for being a part of my yoga practice this evening. It was an honor to guide you. Namaste.